everyone. So as promised, this is the seashell video. Basically, it's more of a low-key, casual kind of, I wouldn't even call it identification, but I'm just going to show you all the seashells I've collected over the years. Some I have actually picked up from the beach myself. In fact, probably quite a few of the more uniquely shaped ones. And like the cooler, big ones that I have, like for example this guy, I did collect this by myself, like by hand on the beach. But most of them, I think, probably came from being purchased over the years. You know, like those little gift shops and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm just going to show you guys that. This will be a shorter video today. I am preparing the next series that I'll be embarking on, which is basically hiking. That's going to be one of the series. It's going to be hiking, collecting. It's going to be like field trip themed. I'm going to be taking you guys out to see geology on the field. And then there's going to be another series. This is more classroom themed, where I'm going to be teaching you guys in depth about topics that I may have mentioned, topics you guys are interested in, etc. But I figured we might as well wrap up the current ID series, quotation marks ID, with just some seashells, you know, like a little laid back fun thing where I just tell you about my shells. So without any further ado, I'm going to actually pick up the camera and show you guys. So you're not going to be seeing me for most of the video because it's going to be a little difficult to manage that. And I've actually spread them all out on my bed. And yes, I do have stuffed animals at my age. You are never too old for stuffed animals. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Anyways, so let's get started. Alright, so like I said, these are my seashells. I have actually divided it up by size, relatively speaking, and also kind of by shape. So I have a lot of flat-shelled ones, which are the most common ones that you can actually find. And then I have some spirals and stuff like that. These cool little shells. You guys, going to the beach and collecting shells is a pretty interesting experience. Sometimes you will pick up a live clam or something like that, so just be aware of that. And so, I don't think clams actually do anything to you if you pick them up, but it might creep you, it might freak you out if you feel it moving a little bit. So just be aware, you know, when you're picking stuff up. But you can pick up some pretty neat stuff. This is the biggest shell that I have. It's one of those spiral ones. Look how big it is. I don't know if you guys, I may be dating myself here. I'm not sure if this is something that everyone has done through all generations, but there was this thing when I was a kid. Like, I've always grown up hearing that if you put like this right up against your ear, you can like hear the ocean, so to speak. You can, it's basically just you hearing the hollow shell with probably some liquid trapped inside. It's very interesting. It's cavernous. It's kind of like walking into a really empty, or kind of putting your ear up against like a small little hole that leads into a very empty room. It's very haunting, but it's also very beautiful. So yeah, I have done that with most of the spiral shells. Obviously you cannot do that with the clam shells and such, but anyway, so yeah, this is the big guy. And I haven't done that in a while, actually held it up to my ear. Maybe I'll do that at the end of the video. I don't know why you guys would want to see that. So yeah, there's just little holes and stuff like that, little imperfections. It's been years since I've had it as well, so some of these shells may be broken. I wasn't always very careful with my shells, to be honest. They've been banged around in some boxes over the years. Now these are some flat ones, but they're not quite like, these are all pretty standard. These are the guys that I think I've gotten at stores. They all kind of look the same. You can tell these three piles. These guys look a little different, which makes me think that I may have picked them up myself or in different shops maybe. So yeah, there's this guy, cute little guy. I like that serrated pattern that this has. Same for this. This one doesn't have a hole, obviously. I think that this hole, so you can put it on a necklace or something. Really cool. Then there's this guy. Really love that. I just like the patterns of like the actual shells themselves on the outside, the little rings. Kind of makes me think of trees. Although I don't think the rings on shells means anything like it does on trees. It might. I'm not really like a biologist. I'm more of a geologist, so it might mean something. I'm just not aware of it. This one's really dirty, actually. I think I picked this one up. Or rather, that is, I think I ate something out of here. Probably clam oyster, something like that. And then I cleaned it up and kept it. So This might actually, you know, just be something like that. Same thing for this. This little guy has a little pock mark here. Really interesting. This guy. This guy. This one looks more normal. I think this belongs with this group. Anyway. So yeah, we're moving on. These are not really that interesting, to be fair, because I think I got all these at the shop. I do like the red color of this one, though. It's very pretty. I'm not sure why that's colored so distinctly, but these guys all kind of have like similar patterns. Some are more white than purple or pink. Some have some red to them. Same thing for here. This is one of my favorites out of this group. I have these two tiny little guys, and I'm pretty sure I picked these up from somewhere. Probably an oyster. Looks like it. So usually if you see like this kind of shape to it, where it's like, it kind of looks like one of the clamshells, but it has a little dent here and it kind of curves with a bigger indentation on one side of the shell than the other, that's probably more of an oyster than a clam. Those are two different creatures, kids. So yeah, then there's this. This guy is a little different from those dudes, but it's the same general size, so I put it in the same pile. And now, this is one of the dudes that I picked up myself. It's really cool. I was genuinely afraid that there might be a creature in here, but after years of having it, if there was one, it's already dead. So, yeah, it's really cool. I think I picked this one up specifically either in Puerto Rico or in Virginia, and I cannot remember because I've been to those two beaches. And I've been to a lot of beaches in Puerto Rico, to be fair. I was born there. And I would visit, you know, throughout my life. Not as often as my parents would probably like, to be fair. But I've been there several times. I actually plan on moving there eventually, hopefully. We'll see. But yeah, this may have been picked up there, or it may have been picked up in Virginia, which is really the only other place. Oh, in New Jersey as well. Those are the three places I've been to the beach in. Ugh. Something just fell out of there. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to get rid of this before it keeps spitting up on me. What is that? I hope that that's not the dead creature that used to be in there. Alright, well. You may have just seen a crime scene. Anyway, so yeah, there's this little guy. It's probably just dirt, let's be real. Now I'm going to show you guys the rest of these. I love these types of shells. I love collecting them. I'm just going to show you guys and not do a whole lot of talking. Look at that cool little... I like this type of spiral too, where it kind of has like more of a ridge look to it. Makes me think of like the... This is kind of a specific reference, but if anyone's ever seen the Polar Express, the part where they're like going in the train up the mountain and it just keeps going round and round and round, and then just when you think they have nowhere else to go, it kind of pans and changes the view so that you see that there's like a track leading away from the mountain, but that it was blocked by it. That's what that reminds me of. And yeah, I have seen that movie one too many times. Ooh. This guy I really like. He's got a different coloring and everything to it. It feels like it almost feels like the color is washing out. But that's actually how it always looked, believe it or not. Actually, I think that these little spirals is where like the actual organism lived and where its most delicate body part was housed, from what I can remember of my biology classes. I may be wrong, but that's kind of what I remember hearing. Now these guys are little spiral shells in a different sense. These are like the other spiral shells, I should say. I love this shape to it. Really cool. Kind of makes me wish I could shrink and just walk in there and see where that leads. Maybe that's just me though. And then you've got all of these guys. I'll bring it up to the front, the ones that I have left. There we go. Okay. I really like this one. I'm not sure why. It just calls to me, you know? And then these guys last. I really like this one. This one I've had for years. It's really neat. This tiny little dude. I think, to be fair, this may be a snail's shell. Not necessarily a sea creature, but not sure again. And this is definitely an oyster or something along those lines. And I picked this up from a beach and did not clean it very well, as you can see. Alright, so. Alright, I'm back. So yeah, you guys probably didn't see me for most of the actual IDing. So yeah, like I said, I've got plans. I'm still kind of working them out, but I've already got sites picked out for the hiking and for, you know, collecting and stuff like that. I'll tell you guys would be a good idea to pack and everything if you're going to go on any of these trips. I'll give you a little research about the place that I did beforehand. You'll get montages, the whole nine. You'll basically get to go with me without actually having to go in person. And hopefully that series will encourage you to get out there and actually see what you can find out in the world, because those rocks that I've collected and all the cool stuff that I have did not come from just sitting around. You could potentially just go to stores and buy all these things, but it's not really as fun as getting it yourself. Even seashells are more fun to get in person than to buy in a store. Everything has a story, you know, even if the story is just how you got it. For now, anyways, and you can find out more as you go on. And then there's the classroom series, essentially, where I'll be teaching you more stuff, as I've said before. If there's any topic you're interested in, specifically learning more in depth about, do let me know, because I will be taking suggestions. This is for your education, as I'm always saying. So anything that you're curious about, earthquakes, volcanoes, I could even look into planetary geology if that's something that you're interested in. Anything like that, you know, like what differentiates like a metamorphic rock from a sedimentary rock, etc. Anything like that, just let me know, and I will do my best to let you know. So anyways, until then, I hope you guys enjoyed. That's pretty much the last of the ID series for now, until I start collecting more rocks. And I hope everyone has a good day, and, you know, stay curious.